Guys, the truth of the matter is test dates are not available. They are fully booked till maybe next year. So when you book, they'll give you any available date that people must have cancelled, and in the area where you live. That was what I did, and I got an earlier date and I went for my test. Hey guys, hey, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Lily, and for those of you who have just recently subscribed, thank you so very much. Like, you have a special place in my heart. Thank you for growing my little family together. Thank you so much for those of you who have been here from the get-go. I am so happy. So in today's video, this is hopefully the last series of these beautiful episodes that I have been talking about acquiring a UK full driver's license. Yeah, so in the first two videos I talked about, you know, who can drive in the UK, how to acquire your driver's license, steps to follow in order to get past your theory test, like simple steps I did that helped me to pass my test. And in today's video, guys, this is my practical driving test pass certificate. So guys, how did I pass my practical test? After going through the vigorous process of getting a provisional driver's license, going through following through with the theory test, this is the final stage that once you acquire your full driver's license, guys, that is it. You wake up, go to anywhere you want to go to. You can use your car to do so many businesses for yourself as well. Transport will not be a problem for you again. So what did I do? When I passed my theory test, I now started looking for a test date. Guys, the truth of the matter is test dates are not available. They are fully booked till maybe next year. So what I did was, I was just in my head, I was like, let me just wait and see. Every day I'll check, but there is never a date around where I live in the UK. So I now called a friend of mine and I said, come, how did you do to, you know, book your test and go for it? And because me, I can't find any dates. So he said to me that no, that just book anywhere. So the number one tip is book anywhere, even if you are in London and then you find a test that is available in Northampton or Southampton, please, my dear, just book for it, because you need to book for it in order for you to have a reference. Or there is a site, which I'm going to leave it down here in this video, where you can actually, you know, go there, register, put your preferred date where you know that you're going to go for the driving test in the area where you live, because certainly there are people that cancel. All right, there are people that cancel their tests a lot. So what I did was I booked a test, and guess what? The date that I saw was 2022 December. I'm like, how can I wait up until no, I cannot do that, because all of the test dates are fully booked. Just go book and get the date first. So what I did, I booked the test, I got my date, and I got my reference, and then you have to pay £60, guys. You have to pay £60 for this practical driving test. All right, so you don't want to go and not pass it, and then because you need to pay another £60 again and then wait for God knows how long. All right, so make sure that when you're doing this, be sure to bring your A game and just go do the test and just round up with it. So guys, I registered, I got my reference, and then I went to that site. I filled in my details and I put in the preferred dates when I know I was ready to take the driving test, and then in my area where I live. After registering, you need to pay £11. So you're booking, please book automatic, do not do manual, book automatic, so that once a date is available for you, they'll just book it for you immediately. So it wasn't even up to a week when I booked for that. I'm talking about the second site that I went to book. After booking properly in the DVLA site, paying the £60, yeah, you need to go to that site with your reference number. You need to go to that site and then book. When you book, they'll give you any available date that people must have cancelled, and in the area where you live. That was what I did, and I got an earlier date and I went for my test. My dear, before now, I would categorically say and state that I did not know how to drive. Honestly, I did not know how to drive. When I was driving, I was feeling fly that I could drive in Nigeria, my dear. I did not know how to drive. So I came here and a whole new life was open to me. All right, because you have been driving in Nigeria does not mean that you will not have to go through the practical lessons. You will not pass, my dear, you will fail. I'm just being honest with you. So I had 5 sessions with this man, and an hour was £35 that he was charging. So I was doing 1 hour 30 minutes, 1 hour 30 minutes for 5 lessons. The trick is, when you go for your practical driving test, your instructor is always in the car with you. So he sits at the back of the car. So he knows what the examiner will ask you. He knows what they'll say you should do. I called this man up and I booked sessions with him. And then he took me through possible routes where the examiner will tell me to drive. You need to do 1 emergency stop. You need to do 1 parallel park, or you need to do reversing and parking in the bay, and then forward parking in the bay, and then how you maneuver through roundabout, how you go first exit, how you go second exit, how you go the third exit. You need to know how to do these things, guys, because that is what the examiner wants to see. If you're going the second exit, where would you be on the road? If you're going to the third exit, which side of the road are you going to stay, and how are you going to signal? How fast or how slow are you going to signal? How is your observation with the road signs, and how do you know your road signs? Like, guys, so you need to, I'm not even messing with you. You do as if you don't know, you've not driven before in your life. You need book lessons with your driving instructor. So apart from that, my additional things that I did was I went on YouTube, guys. See, there is knowledge in this YouTube. You people don't know. I went on YouTube. What I put there was possible driving test routes, was what I typed in where I'm staying at the moment, and it came out, guys. So what I did was I took my book, I took my pen, I was watching the YouTube video. When I watch, I'll pause it. From the test center, turn right. I'll just do test from test center, turn right. First roundabout, first exit. I did like about 4 different routes in that video, in that YouTube video. I'm not even kidding. That was what I did. So I did all of that. I followed the steps, and guess what I did? Because I wrote them very boldly in a big notes. I entered my car. I called up my friend. Please, where are you? He said he's somewhere. I said, please, I need you to help me and do this. I just need you all hands on deck, because I need to pass my practical test, because I cannot afford. Guys, I'm a student. I cannot afford to be paying £35 an hour, and I was doing 1.5 hours with this man. I cannot afford to pay all these monies and not go and pass my test. Please, any way you can support me for this, just day, because my test was supposed to be on Friday. So he came with me. I said, please, you know what you do? Just be reading this thing for me whilst I drive. Yeah. So he came, we entered the car, and then we went. So I drove all the way to the test center, and I'm like, yeah, this is it. So let's go. So he now said, first from the test center, turn right. I turned right. Roundabout, that was how I did. And with him in the car, I did all of the 4 test routes. And guess what? On the day of the test, one of those routes was what they asked me to drive. And I drove, guys. And my instructor was in the car. I met him up. That day I paid him for 2 hours, because he would definitely be with me in the car. So I went and I said to him, sir, this is what I did. He said, oh, this girl, why are you so... I said, sir, I cannot come and pay this money again to you, or go and come and pay this with this money. That was why I did this thing. Say, oh, that's good. So he stayed with me in the car. We started. So when on the day of the test, guys, sorry, I'm talking too much, but this is it. That's what I did. If you apply this thing, I am sure you're going to pass your test once and for all. So on the day of the test, I went there. I was nervous. And then my examiner came out and called my name. I said, I'm here. I gave you my provisional license. And then I signed. We went outside. So he asked me to read a number plate from a distance, which I did. He took me to another side. I read that side, which was okay. So the next thing was, they asked me to open my bonnet and show them, because yes, it's also in the test, the things that you're supposed to do on the test day. Guys, if you don't know, you just search on YouTube, you will see them. So they'll ask you to open the bonnet and show them how you will check if your engine oil is still there or not. Those are one of the questions they're going to ask you. They're either going to ask you to show them how you're going to check your engine oil, check your coolant, check your screen watch. All of those things you will need to tell one of them. They'll ask you. So in my own case, they just asked me how to check the engine oil, and I said it. I closed the bonnet, I entered the car, and then he said to me, when you're ready, let's go. I turned on the ignition. Guys, the simple steps in my head was, I need to follow the rule, because that's what the examiner wants to see. So what you need to do is, you need to do mirrors, signal, maneuver routine. It should be in your head. The mirror, signal, maneuver routine. Once you have it in your head, when to use it, when to apply it, you are going to pass your test. So guys, I am not even kidding you. I drove for 20 minutes, because you're going to drive for 20 minutes with the sat-nav. So that's called independent driving. I drove for 20 minutes following the sat-nav. So at the end of my independent driving, he now started telling me, do this, do that, do that. I did a reverse, like 2 car lengths. That was what he asked me to do. I did my emergency stop and all of that. At the end of my test, guys, at the end of my test, he told me, congratulations. He called my name. I'm happy to tell you that you have passed your practical test with just 2 minor faults. God, I was so happy. I was literally so happy, as if I should just scream. You're supposed to have a maximum of 15 minor errors. Then if you have more than that, you will not pass the test. But if you have a fatal error, that they will just cancel the test and you are failed. So I had 2 minor errors. I passed my test once and for all. And then they asked me, do you want us to, you know, post your new driver's license via post, or you apply yourself? I said, please, here is my provisional license. Take it. I'm going to allow you guys to send my full driver's license to me via post. So that was how I got my certificate. This is the end of, you know, this series. Please, guys, whatever you want to do, whatever you put your heart to, trust me, you can achieve it. No matter the hurdle, no matter the distraction, do not be distracted. Do not let, you know, the present condition deter you from seeing your future self. So whatever side distractions, I pay no attention. So guys, now I can go to anywhere I want to go to. I can drive to anywhere I want to drive to without any stress, guys. So till I come your way next time with another exciting topic, take care of yourself, and I love you. Mwah!